First off, I just want to start off by saying that I need you to be like 110% honest, whether what we did for
Yeah.
you was shit, whether it was good, just your honest experience. If there's anything that you don't want to go too in depth on, I know you're working on some stuff that you don't want everybody to know. You don't have to go too in depth on that, and you can be as vague as you want while also, giving, as much value to anybody watching this video about your experience and,
hmm
anything that anybody watching this video might be able to take away and use to their own advantage moving forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, just to jump straight into it, can you quickly introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, how long, you've been reselling shoes or just in the reselling industry as a whole?
Yeah. My name's Mick. I'm 24 years old. I live in Vero Beach, Florida. I've been selling shoes since the beginning of last November 2024. Started off selling singles here and there as a little side hustle. Really, over the past 7 months, been able to ramp up quite a bit, moving into bulk, wholesale, and
Right.
buying tons and tons of sneaker collections as well as new shoes.
Yeah. So before, joining our program and reaching out to me and Gabe, what did your sneaker reselling business look like? What were you doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so this was typically how my business ran, I'll say week to week, before I joined. So it would be Monday through Thursday. I was lining up all my buyouts for the weekend. So I would buy collections Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if I could find one. I would spend Monday doing inventory and then Tuesday shipping, and then look for the next collection repeat. So that was pretty much the exact process. Buy collections on the weekend, inventory, ship, look for collections.
Right. So I mean, like,
And
who were really just like going based off, who reached out to you and who saw your social media presence so that way you could get a collection off of them. Like that was just your business model.
yeah, essentially.
Right. How was it, that doing for you at that time before you started working for us? Like, were you doing well or were you like making
Mhm.
like a sufficient amount of income or where were you kind of at?
Income wasn't terrible. It's not where it is right now, but I was making anywhere from five to like 8,500 a month.
Yeah.
So it was good. It wasn't always super consistent because if I get a crappy collection, if I get 30 pairs, 30 pairs, and 30 pairs one weekend, it's like I only got 90 pairs this week.
Right.
Versus if I hit, 150 one day, 200 the next day, 200 the next day, it's like, oh, I just got over 500 pairs this week.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I'm never worried about turnover time because I turn over inventory very quickly. It's just about getting enough quantity to supply the demand.
Right. So what were like some of the biggest struggles or challenges you were facing before we started working together in your reselling business? Because I'm pretty sure you
Mhm.
joined like the middle of June. So before the middle of June, like what were you struggling with the most?
I would say adapting to being, so I just moved the last week of May from South Carolina. So I was adapting to where I live in Florida is not a hot sneaker place. I have plenty of cities within 2 to 3 hours of me that are very centralized places. Um, but it was finding, I was trying to find effective systems to where I can leverage my time and make sure I'm not wasting my time going to Orlando, not wasting my time going to Tampa or Miami or Jacksonville or wherever it was that weekend just to not close a deal. God forbid we can't close on it. And then also during the week, it's like, okay, I had my system, it was generating money, but besides looking for collections during the week, it's like I can still be making other income. Why am I not doing that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And especially when you can do it from your phone now, there's so much money to be made just
hmm
sitting at home, especially if you do it rightly or correctly and you present yourself on social media, right? Um,
hmm
how did those challenges, make you feel about your business at the time? Like, did you think it was sustainable? Do you think this was something you were going to do long term, or what was kind of going through your head?
I'll say it it was sustainable, but it wasn't where I want to be. So I knew at some point something needed to change to, boost me to that next level where it's like consistently over 10K a month. And then, we go from there. And I knew before I moved to where I live that I'm going to be moving to Tampa. So I was kind of in the thought process of if I can just make it to Tampa, then everything's going to change because I'm going to be in a big centralized city and have tons of people who are able to sell to me locally. But then I was like, why waste all these months before I get there when you can start building all the framework to be able to be anywhere? So I think that's one of the things we've worked on the most is me being able to be wherever I want and business is still running.
Yeah.
And this past week was one of the best weeks for that because I haven't been home in 10 or 11 days, yet business is still running. I'm bought collections in Arizona, New York, South Carolina, Florida,
God.
and yeah, all this week.
So within, this week, or let's just say since the beginning of August, we're 9 days in, how many shoes have you bought?
I've bought, I'd have to check my sheet for an exact number, but somewhere just under 800.
So how much do you think you're gonna make off all 800?
We'll probably make after expenses and shipping and everything and paying out my associates who actually went out for the collections. We'll be looking at 6,600.
Oh, that's fucking dope. And you do that 3 times over and you're pretty much at 20. And we're in
Hmm.
5 days into the month, but it's fucking
Yeah.
it's crazy how different your business model is from mine and from Gabe's and from all these other people. And
Hmm.
even Frank, like I had a call with Frank yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that dude has a crazy different business model than all
Oh
of
yeah.
us. Something that I feel like me and Gabe have gotten really good at is been able to hone in on your guys' own business and critique it and
Hmm.
really easily. And that's the goal. So
Yeah. I remember that first month was definitely a struggle because it was like it was almost like let me just get it out of the collection. Buying is taking too much time. Let me get into wholesale. And then after talking more with you and Gabe, it's like, no, you had something that was working, build on that, and then add this other avenue. And
right.
now it's like, it was day one, and you were saying grow them together. Because if you grow them together, now it's like, if you can have basically two businesses within your business producing over 10K a month, now it's like you're really getting to those next levels, which is where it becomes crazy.
Definitely, yeah.
So,
And you did amazing since you joined. But let me ask you, what, made you decide to join the program? I know you were one of like the newer people. Like you were probably like out of like the first 5 people, I think you were in there. Like you're probably like the fourth or fifth person to actually join this. And
mhm.
you were all for it. Like when we were on the call, you were like, okay, when can I start? And like usually a lot of
Yeah.
people, hesitant, have a lot of questions, what really made you decide to join or push you over the edge?
So, funny enough, I've been looking for, I've always had a mentor in life, probably since I was like 19 years old. First in real estate, and then someone just, I was modeling my life after. So when it came to sneakers, I was like, I see the most success when I'm talking to someone consistently who has already achieved success. So, I mean, I literally was reaching out to people who I saw were doing big in the game. No one wanted my money. It's something I already knew that I wanted. Once I found that person, I was like, okay, let me lock it in. It's speed
Right.
wins. So if I'm set on something and I see a way to do it, it's like, okay, it's done. You know,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
was just like, okay, what, can I send you the payment right now? Like, can we do this already?
So how old are you real fast?
I'm 24.
So how do you feel being 24 and sending somebody who's 18 that you've really never met before our first call? And Frank was telling me this about this too. That was his biggest hesitation. Like Frank's like 23 or some shit. So you guys got like
Yeah.
5 or 6 years on me, willingly, sending me money to learn from me. And like, bro, I'm still in high school. Like you guys have
Hmm.
graduated college damn near. So like,
Yeah.
was that one of your fears or like, or did you not even think about that?
I honestly didn't even play age into it. I met kids when I was younger. who were multimillionaires when they were 16, 17, 18 years old. So I know it's possible. I know, some people find their avenue earlier in life. And it really was, I mean, I was following you for a while, so I was like, okay, he's doing something, and I was like, I want to figure that out.
Yeah.
Um, and then have these new connections. So it's like even just off the connections made alone, that's worth I'd pay that 10 times over.
Oh yeah. So
So
before we joined, I know you were very like ready to go. Did you have like any hesitations, concerns, or like anything that you were kind of scared about? And if so, like did anything help you overcome those?
honestly, I don't move with fear. It's like if I lose money, I lose money and I move on. I'm very emotionless to money. Money comes and goes, so it's like I've lost tons of money before, and it's like I know I'm gonna make it back. So I'm really wasn't worried, if that makes sense, just because I knew, okay, but let's say this is crap and I don't make anything off it. I'm gonna go make this back in a 1 or 2 weeks. So what does it matter?
Yeah, and I mean, that's what I tell people all the time. Even people that, I've hopped on calls with before and, they were hesitant about the price point. And like, I think that we're undercharging for the value that we provide, but it's like, bro, you're making like a few thousand a month already. Like, what are you going to lose investing in somebody and putting yourself out
Hmm.
there? Because at the end of the day, the one thing that most people don't buy to put themselves in a better position is knowledge. Because like if you buy the right knowledge, you can literally make like $1 million off of it. It's so fast. Because
Exactly. And I know some people aren't in the position. They're basically emotionally attached to money, or I've met people who refuse to take a loss on anything. And I think that becomes one of your biggest weaknesses if you really get emotionally attached to whether your money is going up or down versus just seeing the game across the long term. So it's like if you look at the stock market, month to month, it's going up and down. But if you zoom out, the trend's constantly up. So,
right. Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you, bro. Like that's something that I've learned too. It's like, and even like a few of the guys that we've worked with, I know some of them, they're still a little bit attached to money or just like emotionally attached to it. And we hop on
mhm,
group calls and I'm like, bro, you gotta lock the fuck in. Like you
yeah.
gotta figure this shit out because once you figure it out and you detach your emotion, you're literally gonna like
Mhm.
double your income. I swear to God. But
Yeah.
on that note, what has been your favorite part or most valuable thing that you specifically have learned or taken away from the whole entire program?
The most valuable part is the connections. I mean, just off the people in this group, I've been able to probably make like 5x return on the whole course just on business solely with people in this group, not outside business or
And
anything else.
you've been in this program for like maybe 60 days. I think it's like 50, 60 days now. That's fucking
Yeah.
absurd, bro. So let me ask you really fast. So your initial investment, you don't have to say how much it is, but like whether it's 5x, 10x, 2x, 3x, how much do you think that you've made just off of what we've given you, the connections and all of the information that we've been provided to you?
Probably like 15,000.
Bro, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Oh, another thing that also is super valuable is you told me you're like you have to post every single day. It does not matter if it's shit, post every single day. And so I just kind of overcame that stigma of if I'm going to post a reel, it has to be like a sick cash out with a bunch of pairs. I was like, no, just post. It doesn't matter because the more people see, the more you're going to be at the top of their algorithm. And that's how I was able to, law of attraction, I was able to attract some of the best and biggest buyers in this whole sneaker game. So it's like now I have those connections where I can sell any quantity of shoes. I could sell them 20,000 pairs of shoes at once if I have the product that they want.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Once you put yourself out on social media, you see people like that you never thought that you'd be able to interact with, never reply to.
Hmm.
Like, holy shit, this dude just followed me back and is asking to buy my shoes and he has 400,000 followers. Like that was
Yeah.
like the realization I have. Like, bro, like you have like 1,300 some followers. I have
Hmm.
5,000 followers. And like I have dudes who have like 500,000, a million followers, whatever, who reach out
Hmm.
to me all the time wanting to work, whether it's on the reselling side or it's just on social media side as a whole, and it's pretty surreal if you put yourself out there, like the amount of
Hmm.
sharks in this game that'll come to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's definitely quality over quantity. Because I only have 1,300 followers, but I feel like I have better connections than most people with over 10,000 followers.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So, how has this program, kind of make you look at your sneaker reselling business differently? Like, do you treat it more like a business now, or like, how do you look at it differently?
Yeah, yeah, definitely more like a business now because I mean, I was operating like a business before, but it still was very hands-on. It was me going out every single weekend to buy these collections. And once I was able to basically zoom out of my business and kind of look at it from an overview, I was like, okay, this is what I need to do to take my business to the next level of what's working and how can I scale that.
Right.
And I started building out the team, and we got team members all over the country now, and I want to say we're in 12 or 13 states right now, and most big metropolitan cities. So that's just extra leverage. It's like right now I'm in Miami, may or may not buy a single shoe while I'm down here, but I'm still going to be buying collections all over the nation and not having to physically go out there.
Right. And like something that I feel like is different with you specifically than some of the other guys, it's like you're almost building an agency with like and doing something that like nobody's really did in this industry.
Hmm.
Obviously, I don't want to go too in depth into it because people are
Yeah.
going to see this video, but the way that you're doing it is a way that like I've never really seen anybody do it. So
Hmm.
I think, this is definitely a 100K month operation a year later down the line. But
Yeah.
so what specific results have you seen since joining, whether it's sales, revenue, consistency, and just overall improvements on your business?
Definitely have seen revenues shot up about 3 times. So my average margin's lower, but volume's like 3x. So we're making a lot more profit there. Sales, I mean, we went from selling, the average was about 1,100 pairs of shoes a month. Last month we sold 2,400 pairs. This
So what are you
this
on?
week we've sold like almost 800 pairs, so we could sell 3,000 this month. So it's really
Yeah,
we're starting to hit that exponential growth curve.
yeah, definitely, bro. And you're in a position now where you got a 10x, and it
Hmm.
happens. It happens sooner than later, and it's something I was talking to Frank about. Like the dude didn't really get much accomplished within like the first week, and and then like the 30-day mark rolls around, and he's like, "Holy shit! I just sold 2,000 pairs of shoes in like 3 days."
Hmm.
So that I mean that's how
Yeah,
business is. How does your business and mindset feel now compared to before?
compared to before. I'll say I always had a good mindset towards it, but now it's thinking more operationally and also like a CEO of my own business versus being a solo entrepreneur. Just being able to take myself out of my business to resolve issues. So saying, okay, we're consistently having this problem here. If I was someone else looking at it, what would I do to solve this problem? Whether it's, okay, that this supplier has been messed up four out of my last 10 orders. Okay, so we either need to cut them off or they're running GUA now.
Right.
Something like that. Or, oh, this buyer, is always, he might order once a month, but he just wastes my time all month. It's like, okay, we need to give less time into that relationship and more time into the people. It's like, here's a list, yes or no, payment sent, done.
Right. And like that's the biggest thing with me too, bro. It's like urgency and speed are like the two biggest things. Like
Mhm.
I'll work with some like new suppliers or whatever that are kind of small, and I'm like, bro, give me a phone call. Like I want to hop on a call with you. Like I'm trying to lock in a 60 pair deal. Like I don't even want to text you about it. Like I want to hop on a phone call. I want to lock in. I want to close, and
Mhm.
that's it. Like I even told this one dude specifically, he's probably gonna watch this video. That if he wants to take wholesale seriously and really make money off this, he has to reply really, really fucking fast. Like this dude hasn't replied in
Mhm.
the last 48 hours, and we're still trying to close the deal. Um,
Mhm.
probably won't happen, but like he has to be able to reply really, really fast and hop on a phone call when it's needed because like I'm trying to buy your shoes. Like, are you willing
Yep.
to tell me that you don't want to hop on a call to potentially get 5,000 Zelle sent to you right
Hmm.
now? Like that's just absurd, and it really goes to show the people who treat this like a business and the kids who treat it like a side hustle. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
Yeah. And transparency is key. It's
agree.
like, so I had a couple clients this past week. I was like, hey, I have these pairs are in my storage unit. I'll be able to ship them next week. If you want to just put down a deposit, that's cool. I'll ship everything Tuesday when I'm back in town. And just like being transparent, because I know a lot of people who would be like, okay, send the full payment, and then a week later ship it, and their clients like, what took so long?
Right. And I mean it's just the sneaker resale industry as a whole, bro. Dude, it's shady, bro. It's so
Hmm.
unbelievably bad and it's so good to find or it's so hard to find good people within such a horrible business as a whole. And like I don't
Yeah.
think the sneaker reselling business is horrible, but like 90% of the people within this industry are a scammer, they're not transparent, or they just don't care. And like
Yeah.
that's the issue, and that's why there's very few people who are actually making multiple five figures profit every single month because it's genuinely hard the more I look at it from an outside perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
For
um,
for sure. It's people not treating it like the business it's supposed to be, and if you want to be serious about your business, you need to take care of your customers.
yeah, I definitely agree with you. But what kind of goals are you working towards now that you feel are actually possible? I know when we had our first call, your goal, and I know it's still your goal, is to make 80K every single month off of sneaker reselling, so that way you can net over 1 million. I mean,
Hmm.
do you think that's possible, or like what's the next
Yes.
step for Mickey?
Yeah. I know that's possible. So I know at some point $20,000 weeks will become the norm. And I remember you're like, I'm not going to be able to take you there, but I'm on track to get there. So,
So
um,
if you make $80,000 in a month, we're gonna have to do a meetup, maybe four. I don't know. I think you're gonna,
yeah.
bro. I believe in you. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's also the thinking about it as a business perspective. It's like if you're really building a business, you are thinking about potential exit plans and other things. So if the business is netting 80K a month and it's completely hands off, it's like, okay, now your business is worth between 7 and 10 times the yearly profit. So it's like if I was to sell all or half of my business, that's a multiple seven-figure exit.
And what's crazy about what you're building actually is that what you're doing is sellable once you do it correctly. I think it's
Hmm.
still in the really, really early stages, but once you put really solid systems, foundations, and people running the whole entire thing for you, your shit is sellable. Whereas like my
Yeah.
business, like as much as it pains me to say, it's like my business is not sellable right now.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think that's something that a lot of sneaker resellers that's why they quit because you want, and all the entrepreneurs who are actually smart, you want to build something that eventually you could have a 7 to 10 figure exit out of. And that's
Yeah.
our game as an entrepreneur. Build something big as fuck, sell it for a ridiculous amount of money, do something over again, or fuck off. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And that was something I learned early. It was someone I actually went to high school with. He wasn't always like the most outgoing kid or anything, but when he was in college, he created a virtual tutoring business and hit a seven-figure exit while in college.
that's fucking
And now he's exited three businesses successfully, and he's 25 years old.
crazy. So, just some advice for the viewers, if someone is watching this is on the fence about joining or even hopping on a call with me or reaching out to me and Gabe, what would you tell them?
First of all, it doesn't hurt and costs you nothing to just hop on a call and hear about it. Second of all, if whatever the initial investment is, it's not going to kill you. If it's going to put you into debt, maybe this isn't for you, but if you're doing something correctly, money always comes back. So don't be so emotionally attached to the money because you got to think long term. Okay, if I put even let's say it was 10,000, I put 10,000 into this, and at month six, I'm gonna start seeing $25,000 a month. Wouldn't you be stupid not to do that?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to look
So
at it. You gotta look at the ROI and the investment. And, I
Hmm.
think everybody in here and all of our students, obviously there's some guys that are doing really good and there's some guys who are still figuring it out, but are doing better than they were before
Hmm.
they started working with us. Because obviously everybody's in a different position. But like, I think everybody has made back their initial investment within like 45 days. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single person who's been in here for 45 days that haven't made back their investment. And if
Hmm.
they haven't made it back, then like they just haven't even reached out to me at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And it's really on you. With everything, you have to put in the work. So you're gonna get out what you put in. So if you take it seriously and you're putting in the work every single day, you're getting your face out there, you're meeting these new connections, things are gonna work out, whether it takes 30 days or if it takes almost a whole year before you start seeing like those real results. If you're consistent, it's gonna pay off. Such as anything. I mean, there's Jeff Bezos was consistent and didn't make a profit for what, 10 years, and now one of the richest people on the planet. So
Right.
you got to think about the delayed gratification and just be really willing to put into that work.
Yeah, definitely. And I completely agree with you. So you joining as a whole, do you feel like you got a pretty big ROI? Like this was like a investment that you needed to make and, was it worthwhile for you?
For sure. It definitely was an investment I needed to make, and it's something I knew beforehand. I told you I was literally like looking for a mentorship
Yeah.
group to join, and I couldn't find something. I was just reaching out to people, and I told you this one story. I reached out to someone who I saw was selling like 600 or 700 pairs every weekend, and I was like, I want to do that. So I was like, what do you make per hour? And he broke it down. He was like, it's probably like whatever, $300 an hour. I was like, I'll give you $450 an hour to call me once a week. And he was like, I can't. I'd rather focus on my business for that hour of time. And I was like, all right.
That's absolutely absurd because when I break down the numbers, like the amount of time that I put in talking to you and just the other guys, like when it comes to like actual time, like it's probably not worth my time if I evaluate my time on an hourly basis. But like, bro, what we're building, it's so cool because like we're helping. Like I didn't know this was possible. Like I started this whole
Mhm.
entire thing. I knew what I was doing was working, but I didn't know I was going to be able to take you and like literally four other people already to like pass
Yeah.
a month off of just what we're teaching. And
Mhm.
it's surreal. And like I'm really confident to say now that I can take anybody that I want if they put in the work and they have the discipline, time, and effort to like 10K.
Mhm.
Like I don't think
Yeah.
it's as hard as I thought it was.
And it doesn't require a ton of money. You can do it without a ton of money liquid. Like if you're just moving the right way, there's so many ways in this game to leverage your resources. So it's like, for example, some of the people, I'll give a little bit of insight into what I work with. I have people who look for collections for me to buy. I tell them, hey, if you find a collection of this size, I'll pay you X amount. So it's like, okay, now someone who doesn't have a job and is in college just made $500 on a Tuesday just for sending me someone's contact information.
Exactly. There's so much money to be made in this world, bro. And let me ask you this. What's one piece of advice that you'd give to a reseller who's maybe in the same spot as you before, or just, a normal reseller who's been doing it and
Mhm.
wants to make more off of it before you were joining our program?
Yeah. Decide where you want to take it. Do you really want to build a long-term business, or is this something that you're not going to go through with after the next 4 or 5 months? So I know a lot of resellers, it's like they'll go at it for a year or two, and then it's like, okay, now let me go look for a real job. And it's like, if you really want to put in the work and work for yourself, you can do that. So make that decision of where your goals are in life and then break down those goals. So something I do every quarter is so goals for the next quarter and then break it down. So let's say goal for Q4 is going to be make 20,000 a month. It's like, okay, how much is 20,000 a month broken down per day? I think that's 666, something like that, depending on how many days in a month. And it's like, okay, what activities can I take to make $666 in a day? And then it's like, am I going to repeat those actions every single day, even if one day I don't make $666? Am I taking the actions to where the next day I'm going to make $1,300 and make up for that one day that we fell behind?
Yeah, and I mean, bro, dude, it's just input-based goals. End goal, smaller goals to get to it, and then the smaller goals, you make actionable goals that you can put input
Mhm.
to it. You know, there's three real layers to it. You can break it down more if you want to, but there's three big layers to it. Trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, before, we end this, I know it was a little bit of a quicker interview, I guess, about
Mhm.
our experience. Do you have anything for anybody watching this video or just anything, bro? Anything that you want to say?
Anything's possible. When I first started reselling, it was I want to supplement my salary from my real estate job. And it was like, oh, if I can make an extra 2 or 3 grand a month, like I'm gonna be chilling, get myself in a position to buy a house and then, rent that out. Now it's like, okay, now I'm in the position I can quit my job if I want to. I genuinely enjoy what I'm learning in my real estate job. So you don't have to quit your job if you don't want to, and you can find basically the time leverage to make things keep growing while you're working. But at some point, it's not going to make sense for me to work anymore. It's going to be like, okay, we're doing this full time, and I see the vision of where I can still hit my real estate goals through sneaker reselling. It's like now I'm going to be investing in properties solely off selling shoes, which is crazy. So,
Yeah,
I mean, you can take anything in life wherever you want to take it, but are you willing to put in the work? And you have to work smarter, not harder. You need to figure out what those high leverage tasks are and do them every single freaking day because there's some tasks that are not worth the time. If you get to a certain point, I decided for myself, cold outreach is I'm not going to do that. I just knew I was never going to be cold DMing people, hey, do you have shoes for sale? No, I'm going to put myself in the position to attract people to where they're going to be like, hey, do you want to buy my shoes? And that's what's happened. So,
right. So how do you feel like my help specifically? I know Gabe touched on it a little bit. Has transformed your social media because, like, bro,
mhm.
first got in here, and I'm not gonna lie, your Instagram looked like shit.
Yeah,
It was
no,
good. How do you feel like, my input has helped change that?
yeah, it definitely helped show my page to where it's like if you look at my page, you're like, okay, this person's moving a lot of shoes. Like it's undeniable. You can see that I'm moving hundreds of shoes every single week. And we're able to structure it that way and then constant posting and just positioning myself to where people want to reach out. People don't hesitate to do business with me. I've ran GUA once ever and that was when I had 45 followers and I got scammed. I've never done GUA again, and I've never been questioned
Right.
ever, ever again. So like people know they're getting good business with me. I'm like, I have referrals. You can talk to some of the biggest resellers in the game, and they're gonna have good things to say. So it's like that's where the taking care of your customers comes into play because it's like you can text anybody and ask about me, and you're gonna get something positive. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, bro, dude, I think we pretty much touched on everything. Just for the record, I'm very proud of you. And I think that you're going to build something very big, and I think you're going at a very upward trajectory. Trying to think if there's anything else I kind of want you to touch on, but I pretty much think, I mean, would you have been able to do all of this and, figure all this stuff out on your own? Or like, I mean, or do you feel like it was worth it to skip the trial and error and, just have me come into your business and tell you that you need to stop doing some shit and start doing some more shit?
it 100% was worth it. I mean, it definitely could have been achieved. It would have taken a whole lot longer. So it's like, for me, it all comes down to leverage. If I can pay this to get this return in 8 months shorter period of time, I'm going to do that every time, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, it makes sense, bro. It makes sense.
So yeah, high leverage activities and, make sure what you're doing is productive. There's busy work that's not important that you can be either delegating or not doing, and then there's productive tasks that really are pushing your business forward. So you want to make sure you're spending as much time on those things that are moving you forward, not the stuff that's just makes you feel like you're working, but you're not actually doing anything.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people fall victim to busy work. Like
Hmm.
you just get caught on your phone doing shit that isn't necessarily benefiting you, and before you know it, your day is over, but you didn't get done what you know you needed to get done the most.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. And I mean, I'll say even sometimes I'm still victim to that. I go, oh, I'm gonna respond to all my DMs now. And then it's like you get stuck on reels. It's like you got to snap yourself out of it.
I
Okay.
mean, it's inevitable. It's something that pretty much everybody struggles with nowadays because your phone is more addictive than fucking cocaine, damn near.
Yeah. And when your whole business is basically on between your phone and your laptop, it's like you just got to keep that discipline and know, okay, if I'm taking these actions, then you can do whatever you want later on. So
Right. Tell the people who you are, bro. Where can they find you?
you can find me at the Mick Fault on Instagram. And yeah, come check me out. Selling thousands of shoes every month. And if you're ever looking for anything, I got you.
So if anybody has, any questions about me, about our program, or anything and everything between, can they reach out to you, and you answer?
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot me a DM. I respond to everybody. So
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Any last notes? Or are we good?
I think we're good. I mean, just take it from me, guys. Things are awesome. I'm in Miami right now. Shoes are still being bought. And, I'm just enjoying my time.
Yes, and I mean, Mickey isn't, he's just a normal guy. He's just like us, I'm just a normal guy. Anybody and everybody watching this video, you guys are just probably normal people. And, it's normal people that make something out of themselves and get them rich and make themselves somebody eventually. But we were all in the position that you guys were in once, as well as the fact that we've all had to work the jobs and we all know the struggle. And we're all just normal people at the end of the day who figured it out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So awesome. That's pretty much it.